Hello there, Vic Benedict here. We're playing Gears of War 4 on the PC, and this is my guide and walkthrough for the solo Inconceivable campaign. We're currently on the final chapter of Act 3, so we're on 3-6. It is entitled Origins. So this is a chapter that introduces a new enemy, and it has a boss fight. It's got a Snatcher. Now, I'm going to be doing some very specific things on this chapter, and I am just going to be offering them as suggestions for you. So since I've restarted the chapter numerously, I'm starting out with my default weaponry, which is just 2 frags, so I don't have too much starting out. But would you look at this? Hot damn! Did you notice that? Because I sure didn't when I first played this game. There's a torque bow in this armory up on the ceiling to the right. I completely overlooked it the first time, and it gave me 6 rounds. So in this room, there's the torque hidden up in the ceiling. There's the hammer burst and the bolt lock. So I'm going to be replacing my snubs with the bolt lock because it's a very powerful weapon that I'm going to be using in place of my Lancer. Now, what you may ask, what am I going to do with my Lancer? Well, I'm going to put it on the wayside just for the current time because I have specific uses for torque bow rounds in this game, or excuse me, in this chapter, and I also have specific uses for the long shot, and I don't want to give one or the other to my teammates because I don't trust them to not just frivolously use them. Now, we only got a drop of 4 over there, but that's pretty good. Sometimes you can get as few as 3 rounds for the long shot. Typically with that torque bow drop, they'll give you between 4 and 6. So if you want to keep restarting the chapter and seeing if you can get the most ammo drops, you usually get satisfied with, like, you'll get enough torque bow rounds, but you won't get enough long shot rounds, and vice versa. So it's kind of just what do you prefer? We're going to have access to more torque bow rounds later, but the thing is, we're not going to have any more opportunities to get a long shot, and the long shot is not as crucial for what I'm going to be doing as the torque bow, because we're going to be facing a new enemy. Did I mention that? I think I did. This is actually a pretty tough fight, but these are just standard. You know, you've got a grenadier over to the left, the guy with the shotgun, the one that throws the bolo grenades, and then you've got you know, different enemies positioned. And it's somewhat of a tough fight, but you know, it's standard fare. And I do need to talk about the enemy that we're going to be facing after this next cutscene, because it's a brand new enemy to the franchise, and it's called the Scion. So there's some specific things to know about the Scion. There's like 3 key points that you should know about Scions. They strengthen the armor of enemies. They increase the damage output of enemies, and they also can revive down but not out enemies. So they can't just revive dead enemies that have already, you know, seen their way to the other side. But did you see what we did? We headshotted that Scion, instantly killed him with the torque bow. It's a thing of absolute beauty, and we're going to do the same thing with the one that comes after him. And you're probably not going to be able to see it too closely, because what happens now is that after you take care of the first one, and then you've got the wretch-like enemies spawning out, then you're going to have this guy that the game auto marks, and you see what he's doing? He's actually strengthening the drones, but we just killed him, so now that the drones are back to just normal. It's hilarious. If you do this quickly, the game is so slow to catch up with the character's dialogue that they'll be talking about the Scion as if he was still here. So it just shows you that when you're really on your mark and you're ahead of the game, you know, you can stand at much better footing with how you're feeling about the game if you know, the game is talking about enemies in a posthumous manner like that, but you know, as if they were still around. But now basically it's just a cleaning out process. I haven't really used the bolt lock too much, but it's incredibly powerful. Ammunition for it is usually hard to come by, but on this chapter, since it's the I think it was the Locust burial site, there's going to be enemy ammunition over here, and this is an enemy weapon. It's got a bit of recoil to it, and you can aim in like the snub, and it just it wrecks people. It absolutely does. But now again, you might not have seen that second Scion, but he's very similar to the first one. He just didn't have a helmet on. That's the main difference. It's the same enemy. Okay, so now I don't think there's anything that we need over here, so we're just going to sprint to the next area. And I usually am uncomfortable if I don't have a custom Lancer or a Lancer. And I have figured out what the custom Lancer has a little bit, like, has a different kind of stock to it. So it actually does look a little bit better than the normal Lancer. So same weapon, just different aesthetics. Okay, so now we're going to just head over here to the next fight. There's going to be a hammer burst and a boom shot in this room. Now, if you want to keep resetting the checkpoint so you get the most rounds of boom shot ammunition, go for it. I only got a drop of 2, unfortunately. When you see this boom shot getting picked up by me, you'll notice it only has 2. Now, why didn't I restart the checkpoint and try to get like 4 from it? Basically, my reasoning was I didn't want to put any edit marks into the video. I just wanted this to be all seamless. And I really don't, I don't think anything's going to, turn the tide if we get 2 more bullets. Is that going to turn the tide of us winning a fight? No, it usually doesn't come down to that. Okay, so now we've got our regular weapons back, torque bow, long shot. And we're going to be going into this very small room with another pouncer to deal with and more juvies. So at first, I'm pretty much just going to let my teammates, and you actually would be well advised to reset that checkpoint and try to get more ammunition, because your teammates, if they have the boom shot, they can do more damage, obviously. So what I'm going to do is I picked up the Lancer. I put my long shot down for the time being. I'm going to pick it up after the fight, but I'm pretty much just going to stand over here and participate in a very minor way. See, when you start to hit enemies, they will come after you. If you just stay over here and not fire at anybody, you will see that the pouncer and the juvies will pretty much just disregard you. But if you start to fire at them, then they will turn their heads towards you, and that's not good. And basically, why do I not participate at the beginning of the fight? It's because I want my teammates to pretty much clear up the juvies and try to just stay alive in that corner and kind of just size up the situation while I'm waiting to see what happens. And that gives me a good opportunity to, take care of the rest of business, which is to shoot the cocoon on the wall, which will cause the juvies to come out. And I like to just clear up the juvies before I deal with the pouncer. So a tough room, but you saw that you can control it quite well. And okay, so now here's another torque bow pickup over here, and this fight, you guys have to realize that I accepted nothing less than perfection for myself over here. So if you're thinking like, whoa, how am I supposed to do it so well over here? Just realize, guys, that if I missed a single headshot over here, or if anything went wrong, I was dissatisfied and I would reset the checkpoint. So it's just my perfectionist nature wanting everything to go smoothly. So when you get into this room, I switch out temporarily my frag rates for the incendiary grenades, take care of the 2 drones down here, and I take care of one of the snipers on the upper area. Then what I do, when there's just one sniper left, I replenish my frag grenades from where I left them, and I put 2 at approximately that location. And then I come down to about over here, and then I take care of the final sniper. Your teammates are probably not going to, interfere with killing him. So, I want to control when the next spawn comes out. So I set down those 2 grenades to deal with the drones, The Scion never gets killed to the drones. He's got too much armor, but he doesn't have enough of a defense to get instantly killed with a headshot via the torque bow. And that's a cleared area. Damn, dude, you did that perfectly, practically. Well, you guys, let me just tell you, there's no such thing as perfection. I don't pretend to be perfect. Trying to be perfect is a bad thing, and it only leads a lot of times to frustration. So, you know, and I'm not pretending that I did a good job there. I just had a certain expectation for myself. And I just, you know, I had to do it a certain way. It was either that way or the highway for me. Now, you don't get a checkpoint over here, but as long as you don't jump off of this, you cannot get killed. But you can get killed if when you're dealing with the remainder of the enemies at the end, that final Scion, if you know, if you interact with him and then you jump off to go to the next area and there's like any drones left, they can shoot you, so you can get killed potentially. So just make sure you've killed everybody before you come down here and deal with this. So you're under no threat of death as long as you just press the B button to stomp everybody, and then your job is fine. And then now what we're gonna do, I think, oh, we've already done it. We've replaced the long shot for the Lancer, so that we can take care of the boss with the, you know, I just don't need a long shot for the boss, quite honestly. Okay, so now we are going to do the boss fight, and the first thing that it's going to do is it's going to show you I guess the origins of why it's called a Snatcher. It is going to throw a quill at one of your teammates, knock him or her down, and then proceed to snatch him or her up. And it's also hilarious when one of your teammates says, they have someone. Like, someone? Don't you know who your fucking teammates are? I guess not, but now this particular creature, when it is close to you, it will do one of two things. It will stomp on you, like claw the ground, instantly kill you, or it will do a fire breath spray. The two attacks that I mentioned instantly kill you. I mean, the fire breath spray can start to kill you and you can get out of it, and it's not always instant death. But the quill that it fires, if you're not behind cover, it's instant death. And this thing can hit you from across the room. Later on the dam fight, when there's more Snatchers fights, like, you can be so far away from that quill attack that it's you will learn to avoid the quill attack. So just like the Pouncer, it's got the weak underbelly to shoot, and you know, the more active reloads you get and the soft underbelly with the torque bow, the faster this is going to go. Just remember, the game can give you the fail state if it snatches up one of your teammates, puts it into its body, and then takes off with one of your teammates. But it gives you enough time to shoot the Snatcher enough so that it drops your teammate. But that's it. Our search for Marcus is over. There's the cocoon where he's being held. And thank you guys for watching my series. I hope that it's helping you, and I hope that it continues to do so as we enter into the fourth of the 5 acts. So for Bic Benedict Productions, I'm Bic. Please take care of yourselves.